Up here in the top right in the blue, the Zerg player, he is down 0-1.
Symbol.
And down near the bottom left in red.
KT roster Flash.
They call him God. Brandon, I have like a philosophical question for you about humanity.
Shoot.
What is it that makes humans? By the way, Terran! Anyways, back to what I was saying. What is it about humans that makes it so that when, you know, say you have a bottle of water, a bottle of soda with you, or even, should have another example, bottle of Gatorade, whatever, just a bottle of some sort of drink that you're going to have. What is it that makes humans, after they take a drink from the bottle, put the cap back on it right afterwards, even though they're going to drink from it again in a few moments, most likely? Twitch, out of ideas! Woo! The video is, what is it about people that makes them do that? Why do they put the lid back on?
Well,
is it a fear of spilling? Like, what's your theory?
It is. It is. Humans learn through experience, mostly. They learn how to catch a ball through catching balls over and over and over again. Sure. Having balls thrown at them, they have to learn how to catch it, the trajectory and stuff. I was actually reading something about this recently. And they learn through experience. So when you're a human and you're a baby, you know, you have your little sippy cup. You put it on the ground and something spills out and your mom gets mad and you're like, oh, why did that happen? There's no cap. Like, it's going to spill out. And that just becomes common sense. And then the next time you drink water over and over and over again when you're a kid, like maybe you put the cup on the coffee table, your mom's like, don't do that. And then it spills one time and you're like, oh, wow, she's right. So maybe that happens with the bottle one time and you're like, no, I don't want this to happen. I'm going to put the cap back on. So it's just safety. It's habit.
I feel like your answer is correct. You know, not only humans learn from things like this, but animals as well. When they try to take a step off of a cliff and fall, they learn. I mean, not like a large cliff, but like say a step or something, they fall, they learn gravity. They have a Reaper expand here versus hatch first into getting the lings out pretty early. Yeah, I just asked because I've been consciously, purposely putting the cap on these days because I feel like it's a waste of time and I'm never going to drop that. But anyways, enough about the cap. We've gotten to the point of the game where the action starts and this Reaper, again, is starting to rack up the kills. And I think he's trying to force an overreaction here out of Symbol. Because last time the Reapers did so much, but this time he only makes one. A bit of a mind game here. The Overlord can guess that this is the case, unless the Reaper left from a different location, because the Overlord is camping out at that natural. I also saw the CC timing. So he only makes 6 lings. Speed is pretty early here, and he has that hatchery up for extra larva production really, really early. And in typical Flash fashion, he goes for the 3rd CC. Don't think I've ever casted a game where he didn't do that.
Yeah. It's pretty much his style at this point. I mean, we've seen so many turns playing this way. Kier playing pretty much exactly the same way the other day as well. So it's a good style. You know, if you're able to hold off any kind of aggression that comes out, you know, with bunkers and the like, you know, Terran has a lot of different defensive abilities, then you can really, really get ahead with all of those SCVs that you're producing, all of your really good economies. So
Flash also sacks some barracks build time here in order to kill an Overlord, which then in turn sacrifices some of the Zerg's building time while he's supply blocked to make an additional Overlord, and it costs him about 100 minerals. We'll actually make a Tech Lab barracks on the low ground here, which with the dead Overlord is going to be very difficult to scout and identify.
Yeah. Once you get those upgrades pretty quickly.
2 Hellions come across the map. We'll scout out this 3rd base, not going to be able to deny it. And the Overlord to the north is actually pushed out as well. So now Symbol starts a Roach Warren. Why? Because his first Overlord is dead, and the second one can't tell if there's an armory or not. So he has to make a Roach Warren.
Yeah, it's safe. Moonglade was going on and on about this in Pro League when some Zergs were trying to skip that Roach Warren. They were being a bit greedy.
Some rogues were switching Sinister Strike for Sap. Like no, Brendan, wrong game. Like,
I don't know what was on my mind, man. Maybe I'm thinking about Rogue, the Zerg player, but yeah, he was going on about that, how Zergs were being super greedy and not adding that Roach Warren and just dying to pushes like that. So
yeah, no, it's definitely become kind of a norm. Sometimes that can turn into aggression. We have Overlord speed being researched right now, so we can find out what Flash is going to do next, because Flash has been known to mech more than other Terrans, and without Overlord speed, it's really hard to identify that too. So the Roach Warren gives him a bit of flexibility against not only the Hellions, but also potential Hellbats. Then he can pop in there with his Hellion, or rather with his Overlord that he sent out earlier to verify, okay, what's going on. Starts a big group of drones here with those Roaches out for safety. 11 more added here.
Yeah. Got to get those 3 bases saturated.
And he doesn't know if it's bio or not, still, because he didn't see the stem, because the barracks is in such a peculiar place. I really like this, because now it's kind of awkward as Symbol's like, well, I don't know what's going on, you know. You don't have a barracks over there. The barracks could be flying somewhere. It could be mech. He may have seen it actually with barely the edge of that, or maybe the E-base, because he is starting a Baneling Nest. So regardless of whether or not Symbol wasn't 100% able to see that, I still like the idea, because it has that synergy with killing the Overlord with the floating barracks, and then the barracks is on the low ground there, in a hidden location. Oh, he saw those are additional barracks. Yeah, he's definitely knowing now.
Yeah.
I didn't know, I mean, I myself wasn't sure if those were barracks or factories, honestly, because we didn't have the production tab.
Yeah. Lair coming up here, as well as that Baneling Nest, and 2 Evo Chambers. So he's going to be getting his own upgrades, as well as possibly Roach upgrades, I doubt it. Maybe Baneling speed.
Yeah. Well, the upgrades are very late here for Symbol, comparatively. And I wonder if we're going to see Widow Mines here from Flash, or whether he's going to go for a little bit more Hellions. Probably Widow Mines, I would guess, with that factory. Isn't making anything out of it right now, and is just doing massive Marine production. Has 1 Marauder to join the army with 6 Hellions at their back, and is going to move across here just to make sure there's no 4th base being taken, and may be able to eliminate some of those creep tumors before Mutalisks are out. Even taking that 3rd on the low ground.
Seeing Armory going up as those 1-1 upgrades are finishing, but also can be used for the Hellbats in this push.
You're absolutely right. Very scary moment for any Zerg player. He's got a bunch of Zerglings here, but they're not going to be very useful on the defense against Hellbats. Now Symbol has to make a tough choice. Does he counterattack the 3rd that he scouted, or does he defend? Hellbats can be engaged at any moment. They're ready. Wants to do it off creep because it takes a moment to transform. The Hellbats are instantly starting to be healed by the medevac. So scan goes down. He just needs to target the Roaches with his bio, and let the Hellbats do the rest. A very tense moment for both players here. Combat shields are done. They're going to make this engagement a little bit easier to execute. He's going for another counterattack. It looks like to the right side. Might be able to clear up some of that creep. Good multitasking here by Flash, and is sending a 2nd wave of medevacs over.
Ooh.
That's so many of them.
So many Banelings for this point in the game.
26.
Yeah. And he's got Baneling speed as well, so I feel like this should be enough. Even Godlike Splitting isn't going to hold off 26 Banelings.
He needs to get out of here. There's also 24 Roaches to join them. Not only is this going to be great for defense, but he's going to come and attack the 3rd base, and he's going to attack it hard. Double bunkers being started right now for Flash. He's adding 2-2 upgrades, as well as trying to get these additional barracks up back at home. The 1-1 upgrades will be complete for those Banelings. I think it's time to split and pray, man. Here we go. More Banelings even being morphed right in his face. These bunkers will be targeted down, not even requiring any Banelings. And say goodbye to these SCVs. Oh, maybe a rescue. He saved some of them here.
Yeah, loses 8, but this 3rd base is going to be lifted. He's not going to be able to kill that, but it's going to be stop mining. And he also is supply blocked, so he's got a bunker up behind his wall right now.
Dropping that 3rd CC back down. Or no, actually, he's moving towards the main. These E-bays are very vulnerable. The 2-2 upgrades are something Flash is crossing his fingers will not die, but they do. He's already added new E-bays because he knows they're the fastest building structure per time.
Sacrifices a lot of Banelings, actually, to kill both of those, but he's getting a ton of tempo here. He's able to get that 4th base at the same time. He's just going to pull back. His economy is going to be really, really nice. He's getting the Spire. He's going to get a bunch of Lings as well as some drones. His upgrades will now be ahead of Flash's.
And he saved his Banelings, a lot of them, so they're going to be useful later. The only thing he really loses from this is his Mutalisks relate. But who cares if you're going to have him in a second anyways, and Flash is so defensive he's not harassing you. Flash did cancel the E-bays he was starting at his wall because he knew that it would probably go down, and then the Zerg ran away. Now he's made them in a safer location in his main base, but his 2-2 is delayed. His 3rd base landing here is going to be very difficult with all these Banelings coming over. You could even fight on creep with that creep spread by the Overlord. 8 mutas on the way, and Symbol has really made this game his right now. Flash is really the one who's struggling to make the next move.
Yeah. Flash is just struggling. Like, he's too scared to fight that army straight up, and Symbol is always threatening. He's always just right here.
It's a scary Bioforce, though, and there's honestly, I think only a 12 to 15 Banelings in there. That many Marines, even without the 2-2 upgrades, with this much medevac power, once the Banelings are gone, the medevacs will do the rest. Roaches are going to stand no chance, especially without their upgrades. 40 more Banelings.
This is incredible.
Look at that Roach trapped in there. He's terrified.
He's basically just doing a Roach Baneling kind of composition here.
Yeah. The Roaches give him so much flexibility in the mid game. In the late game, they're going to be terrible, but he's going to make use of them before then. All right, here we go. Splitting is insane here. Very nicely done by Flash. Does not have a whole lot of Marauders. And the Banelings clear up most of the Marines, which means the Roaches can take care of the rest.
Oh man, the Roaches piling through here. A ton of bio being eliminated, and the Roaches starting to do a ton of damage. Flash's supply plummets.
Doesn't even need the Mutalisks here. Command Center not even thinking about landing. 86 supply down now. Flash is in trouble. And the CC lives another day. It's only a few meters here, but I think someone may go for the kill. 2 more medevacs get picked off. Looks like a bad rally. Got to stay away from these Marauders unless he's got all of his link support, which he does now send over. Targeting down more medevacs with his Mutalisks. The Bio having to do battle with the ground army. The Roach is unupgraded, but still so tanky, doing so much extra damage, and GG.
Symbol takes game number 2 and makes it interesting.
Keeping it exciting.
Yes, he is. I don't know.
Oh boy, Flash fans are getting stressed out now. It was a very solid victory in game number 1. But what were you going to say?
I don't know. That second game, Flash was just very, very passive. He was going for that push, but it was a bit late. You know, Symbol was already on 3 bases with over 60 drones for such a long time, and he was just able to get that huge amount of Banelings for that counterattack, and Flash was just not prepared.
Really, really tough. But you know, it's not over until it's over. What do you pick, Flash? Catalina.
Catalina. We've seen so many Terrans pick this against her.
It's a really good map, actually. I'm really starting to like it. It was the map I was the most concerned about after looking at the pictures and the bases. And now I actually think it's the best map in the pool. I need a little bit more time to decide for sure, but I'm really liking it.
I like it.
You want to play a straight-up game on a medium-sized map, medium-sized rush distance at least, with a lot of different strategical, tactical points. This is the map that you want.
I like this one on Foxtrot Labs. 2 good maps.
Really liking the new map pool. Deadling for some extra flair. All of our solid maps we got staying over like merry-go-round. All right, map is loaded, guys. This map will decide who is going to the winner's match and who's going to the loser's match in Group F, the Season 3 of 2014's GSL Code A.